ROKPA, Tibetan word for help. And so it's only fitting that ROKPA has been able to help many of the people who are most in need in Tibet itself. Thanks to the skill and compassion of ROKPA's founder, Dr. Akong Tulku Rinpoche, the charity currently runs over 100 projects in some of Tibet's most remote regions, helping thousands of nomads and rural Tibetans whose needs would otherwise have been ignored. ROKPA's activities in Tibet have grown to meet the needs of the people. News of ROKPA's success spreads by word of mouth, and whenever Dr. Akong Tulku Rinpoche visits the projects he has initiated, the people turn out to show their gratitude and give him the warmest and most joyful of welcomes. His arrival is the highlight of their year and a chance to put on borrowed finery and show their appreciation of ROKPA's work by entertaining him with traditional singing, dancing and welcoming speeches. Wherever he goes, Dr. Akong Tulku Rinpoche is greeted with the greatest respect and love of the people he has done so much to help. Tibet is a vast country equal in size to the whole of Europe. The landscape varies from lush green valleys to the stark, majestic beauty of the Himalayas. The rural, nomadic people are well adapted to life on the roof of the world in a seemingly inhospitable environment. However, recent climatic changes have resulted in heavy, unseasonable snowfalls, which have killed livestock and destroyed harvests. In order to help poor Tibetans help themselves, ROKPA has set up projects which broadly fall into the categories of education, further education, healthcare, socio-economic projects, preservation of heritage, and environmental protection and regeneration. Throughout Tibet, over a third of the children do not even receive primary education. The position in rural areas is particularly bad, as many areas have no schools, and even if they do, parents are often too poor to pay schooling costs. In order to help children escape a life of grinding poverty and learn about their culture, one of ROKPA's priorities is to work with local communities and local governments establishing schools in these remote areas. As of 1998, ROKPA supports 29 primary schools and 14 secondary schools. All ROKPA schools teach in the Tibetan language. However, Chinese and sometimes English lessons are also given. These children of poor families, some of whom are orphans, are so grateful for the opportunity to learn that they work very hard and often complete 2 years' study in one. So that they also keep in touch with the life skills needed in an agricultural community, they spend their summers living and working with their parents, and the rest of the year studying at school. Every aspect of the children's education and welfare is taken into account, and Dr. Akong Tulku Rinpoche personally inspects everything to ensure that the children are well cared for and that ROKPA's funds are well spent. At the end of each inspection tour, accounts must be gone through and new needs assessed before next year's agreements are signed and funds allocated. As well as keeping the Tibetan language alive, ROKPA also encourages the children to take pride in their national dress, arts, culture and music. Dr. Akong Tulku Rinpoche's visits are always an opportunity for them to express their heartfelt thanks in the traditional Tibetan way. ROKPA is presently setting up vocational training courses in arts, crafts and technical skills for students who have completed their secondary education. For the more academically inclined students, ROKPA is able to fund places in teacher training colleges and medical schools. To date, ROKPA has 4 teacher training colleges which educate 260 students to teacher level every 2 years. Teacher training is vital in Tibet, as there is a shortage of trained teachers, particularly those who can teach in the Tibetan language. So these students are a very real lifeline for the Tibetan language and culture. Tibetan medicine is another valuable asset, but it too was in danger of dying out following the collapse of the monastic schooling system. ROKPA now has 313 medical students training to be doctors and health workers. As a doctor of Tibetan medicine himself, Dr. Akong Tulku Rinpoche is particularly keen that Tibet's unique system of medical knowledge be preserved in order to benefit people everywhere. The course requires 5 years of full-time study, and once they have graduated, the new doctors have a commitment to return to their villages and treat the local people. Much of the treatment involves the use of wild plants and herbs, which the students are taught to prepare as medicines. ROKPA also funds some basic training in Western medicine, which may be useful in dealing with emergency care. A prerequisite for all students of Tibetan medicine is that they be academically able. However, where possible, preference is given to the most disadvantaged, such as orphans and children of poor backgrounds. There is also a positive bias towards educating girls, as they will be the future mothers and they will educate their children in turn. Even at this level, students are encouraged to wear Tibetan dress and keep the traditional culture of Tibet alive. So far, 70 of ROKPA's medical students have completed their training and have been funded by local health departments to start clinics in their own villages. Most health facilities in Tibet are in large towns, so rural Tibetans have no accessible healthcare and might be faced with several days' journey before getting treatment. Even then, the treatment available is often too costly for them to afford. ROKPA currently supports 15 health centres in areas where people would otherwise have no access to health care. The clinics generally provide Tibetan medicine, although some Western and Chinese medicine is also available. Most clinics are fairly simple, consisting of a treatment room and a dispensary. The larger clinics have pharmacies and are able to produce their own medicines from local herbs. The cost of Tibetan medicine is low, and doctors only charge those people who can afford it. In this way, ROKPA clinics are able to help thousands of people every year who otherwise would simply have to suffer unaided. As well as caring for people, ROKPA is also caring for the environment. Traditionally, in East Tibet, farmers cultivated the southern slopes of mountains and left the northern slopes wooded. However, recent deforestation and climate change has resulted in soil erosion and desertification. In order to start redressing the balance, ROKPA has so far initiated 3 reforestation projects which look after 9 sites in areas of great traditional importance to the local people. "600,000 trees will be planted in these areas by local villagers who have a strong connection to the land and who wish to see their holy places replenished and respected." Animals in the deforested areas have also suffered a loss of habitat, and many rare species such as tigers, snow leopards, and deer are threatened with extinction. Although Tibetan culture traditionally respects wildlife, in recent years hunting has also taken its toll, and animals such as the white-lipped deer have become rare. The Chinese government is now aware of the problem and have passed laws to protect the environment and wildlife. ROKPA funds forest rangers to ensure the laws are enforced in order to protect the animals and trees. In areas such as Kanze, over 5,000 people are involved in the tree planting project. Dr. Akong Tulku Rinpoche's friend and ROKPA co-worker, Lamdrak Rinpoche, oversees the project, which is in his home area. The villagers who plant the trees receive payment in barley seed. In this way, the reforestation is carried out and people are simultaneously given a way in which to sustain themselves and their families through the cultivation of barley, which forms the staple diet of most Tibetans. Lamdrak Rinpoche keeps a watchful eye on proceedings as the barley seed is allocated to local villagers, making sure everyone gets their fair share. ROKPA's socio-economic work focuses on two main areas. One is to help people who cannot help themselves, and the other is to initiate income-generating projects. By providing emergency relief to villages where snowfall has wiped out the sheep and yak, ROKPA is helping poor nomads without any other means of support. In another village, ROKPA helps people who are unable to work because of the debilitating effects of big bone disease. Income-generating projects, such as the Hlasa Greenhouse project, help families to utilize their land's potential and achieve a better standard of living. In Dege and Palyul, ROKPA subsidizes 2 printwork enterprises. This provides much-needed employment by woodblock printing rare and sacred Buddhist texts in the traditional way for future generations. In this way, hundreds of people are able to earn a living and at the same time play a vital role in preserving Tibet's ancient wisdom. Tibet's unique culture is based on a deep respect for all forms of life. This is manifested in its literature, its arts and sciences, its crafts and customs. ROKPA needs your help. By supporting ROKPA's work in Tibet, we can preserve its precious heritage for the benefit of Tibetans and for the whole world. ROKPA, helping where help is needed.